Hilchos Yom HaKippurim, Perek Hey, Halacha Chofei, the 25th Halacha. Chosem v'namek Torahs, echad misamoneho. If there's lacking in the incense, the ingredients, one of the components, oy mala oshen, or even mala oshen, which was only added to make it kol shiur, to make it go straight up, chayim misa. He's liable for the death penalty. Shenema l'yomus, that the only way he will not die is kibyono ne'roya la kaporos, when I will be seen in a cloud on the kaporos. V'chein chayim misa al biyosei b'li mitzvah. He's also liable for the death penalty because he's coming in without bringing the ketores, the incense, which is fully correct. Lefikoch. Okay, let's see what it says here in the Peirush. I guess the Mishnah cites the sources in Yuma 53a. Like the Mishnah points out that they would sing, that you learn from a posuk, that the onan akteros should cover the kaporos and he shall die, and not the posuk which the Rambam says, which is kibe onon a roe el kaporos. There's further something to be pointed out. In Hilchos Yom HaKippurim, the Rambam writes that if one of the ingredients is lacking, he's liable for the death penalty. But he doesn't mention the idea of mala oshen, because there are 11 ingredients, and mala oshen is just something to make it go up straight. Mishnah Lamelech there it discusses it extensively, and the Beis Yosef Chaim says only on Yom Kippur, if you don't have mala oshen, you're liable for the death penalty. The Bikteris of the Pnai Lefnim, and only in the inner incense, not on the regular one that's brought in the morning and the evening, but that which is brought on Yom Kippur every day of the year as well, you're not liable for Misa, and the later commentaries went into that. It is interesting that the Piri Chodesh here and on the Shulchan Aruch explains the Rambam's opinion that on other days of the year, if he was lacking mala oshen, there's no liability of death penalty. Yom Kippur is liable even with the ketores for the whole year, meaning that he does include on Yom Kippur the obligation, even for the regular incense, which half of the portion is given in the morning, half in the afternoon, and it's done on the golden garments and not on the white garments. Still, according to Pri Chodesh, that would be the case. He's also liable for Misa on coming in without having fulfilled the mitzvah if he doesn't have all the ingredients of the Ketores. Therefore, if he knew that the Ketores was lacking, but he didn't know you couldn't go in without it, he's liable on the fact that he was intentionally knew about that there was no incense, or he went in as if it was or like a complete incense with all the ingredients, and the going in was what was wrong, because it's lacking one or many ingredients. Is liable for the death penalty. There's a Gemara in Yuma, two possibilities. One, that it's for going in on the proper time. He was a shoygig. He didn't know you couldn't go in. Only on the incense he knew you can't, or for incense that doesn't have all the ingredients. Or that he didn't go in intentionally, forbiddenly, because he brought the he also brought incense that was complete. The Chiyuv Misa is on that he also brought on the Mizbeh inside the Kodesh HaKadoshim incense which is not complete, and that your Chiyuv Misa b'dei Shamayim. Here we're talking about an obligation of Chiyuv Misa b'dei Shamayim. Hikdim and Aktoyer Shel Kodesh HaKadoshim. If he took the incense, the Ketores that was supposed to be taken into the Holy of Holies, Kezayis behechol, and he brought it one Kezias and Eil Chayim Misa. He's liable for the death penalty. I guess this too is Min Hashamayim. It's found in Zvochim 109b. Here it says, somebody who brings a Kezias outside of the place where it's supposed to be brought, he's liable. From there, the Rambam learns that even the Keteris of Yom Kippur, that's in the Holy of Holies, if he brought it outside, he's also liable, because doing it outside instead of in the Holy of Holies is considered outside the place. Just as we had earlier the question of what is it, the services that are done inside or outside. The later commentaries, though, wonder on the Rambam, why does he write he's Chayav Misa B'dei Shamayim? He's Chayav Koros. The transgression for bringing that is chorus, and the Mayim Chaim says we find this so in the Yerushalmi, and that's why the Rambam mentions codifies the halacha according to that Yerushalmi. In halacha 27, the taking of the handful, two handfuls of ketores, actors, avoida v'amachshava poiselas bo. It is an avoida. It is considered a service. And if he had the wrong thoughts when he put his hands in to take a full, two hands full, the wrong thought causes it to be invalidated. The Gemara in Yuma 48a is questions if pigul, meaning when he does when he takes it out, he has intent to do it in the wrong time. And so the same thing would apply to the taking of the coals off of the mizbeach, off of the outside altar for the incense. Also, it becomes invalidated if he had the wrong thought of doing it at a different time. This question was not decided in the Gemara. In the case of Mishnah cites, the Rambam decided to be more stringent. Why is the taking of the K'deres and the taking of the coals considered a service? Because that which is needed in order to implement the korban, the offering is like the offering itself, and therefore thinking at the wrong time would cause it to become pigul, and it invalidates it. In halacha chovches, chova merosh etzbarisav, if he did with the tips of his fingers, or from the sides, he put his hands in from the sides as opposed to putting it from on top. Or he dug in from below towards upwards. Or he did two separate handfuls and he brought them together. Or it was spread out, the incense from his hands, it fell out of his hands on the earth and he gathered it up. Or a different kohen took the incense in his hands and also and placed it in the hands of the kohen. Or he did it properly, but he died. And the second one who takes his place went in with a handful that was taken by the first one, because he had placed it in the cup already, and he could take it in. Call Elu, all of these suffix, it's a questionable item as to whether it is halachically kosher or invalidated. He should not bring it on as an offering in the Holy of Holies. However, if he did do so, Wurtza, it has accomplished its work, and the people have been forgiven. This is the final halacha in Hilchos Yom HaKippurim. In the Peirush, we add here that we finished Yom HaKippurim. The Rambam Hilchos Yom HaKippurim. This was our first sefer that we began. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu merit us. We should get the avodah L'tzioni Recha, and we should be Zocher to see the avoid of the Kohen Gadol doing the avoid in all the grandeur and the holiness of the Beis Hamikdash.